Governor, good to have you with us this morning. You see the reports, you've seen the images now for going on about a day. What's your reaction?
Brings back a lot of very, very traumatic memories. First of all, on a personal level, I was in 2 tornadoes, one when I was 11, another one that hit when I was living at the governor's mansion, hit the neighborhood. Devastating tornado in January of 1999, killed 27 people. Tornadoes are just a horrific occurrence because they happen so quickly. And in the case of the one that hit Mayfield and throughout Monette, Arkansas, and other places, it happened at night, which makes it even more tragic because a lot of people are asleep when it comes. They may not be aware that it's on its way. And then in the aftermath, it's very hard to see what's happened. But one of the things, Will, that I think people need to understand, tornadoes tend to impact poor people disproportionately, and for several reasons. One, they're underinsured or maybe uninsured. They often live in structures that maybe aren't as strong as a nice, well-built home that has been built recently. So they're more vulnerable. And then they have less resources to try to recover. So this is a long-term thing. And I think one of the tragedies is when a storm like this hits, for a few days, everybody will be covering it, and then everybody will forget it. And can I pay tribute to Samaritan's Purse, one of the great relief organizations that exists, because they stay until the work is done. And they don't just come in for the first few days and help with immediate relief. They're still in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And you probably haven't heard about Lake Charles in a while from the hurricanes. But that's the kind of long-term help that people in Mayfield are going to need.
Yeah, you know, Samaritan Purse is one of my favorite charities. I contribute there as well because of exactly what you said. They stay for the long haul and not the short term. Tell me what, because we saw the images that Rick showed us. Obviously, no one's there. People are in hotels and finding shelter in other places. I can understand what they went through physically. It must have been traumatic. But tell me what emotionally they are going through right now.
Well, there's a sense of loss. There's a sense of shock. A lot of people, it's going to be several days, maybe weeks, before it really sinks in what happened to them. And there's another piece of their lives that they're trying to figure out. They didn't just lose photos and memorabilia. They lost their Social Security card, their Medicare card. They lost their driver's license, passports. They've got to recreate an identity. So they're going to have to deal with a government that right now in that community is also devastated. So it may be that the state will bring in specialists who will come and set up like a mobile center to help people recreate their identity, get their driver's license, get their identity cards, get the things that they need to be people again. Because they've lost everything, their checkbooks and the stuff that they're used to having. And especially when it happens at night, it's on their bedstand, it's on a table somewhere, and it may be 35 miles away. They'll be having people call them and say, hey, I found a checkbook with your name on it. What do you want me to do? It's a bizarre thing what happens in tornadoes. It just is almost inexplicable to see that one house will be perfectly pristine and next to it, it's blown completely off the slab. And there's no explanation other than it is a force of nature that no one can ever just ignore.
Well said, and spoken from firsthand experience, the depth of the human cost of something like this.